What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had a game against the Dallas Mavericks and the Bulls' 4-game winning streak comes to an end. I guess a lot of people probably didn't expect it to end against the Dallas Mavericks, but look, where we are and where Dallas probably can be is quite interesting. I often have similarities, at least how I view it, between the Bulls and the Dallas Mavericks. We could probably get into that a little bit later, but it did come to an end. Another fun game to watch, another competitive bout, another never say die attitude game for the Chicago Bulls, and we just fell a bit short this time around. Now, again, close, almost another buzzer beater loss it felt like, and yeah, we could take this on the chin, we can kind of move on from it. Lessons learned, wins and losses are always a very important sight, especially for a team that's on the confidence booster that the Bulls are on. But learning experiences are always there, and I feel like we can learn something from this Dallas game. But before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their game today, and your player of the game as we lose this one 120 to 119. Again, it was another game where it felt like if the Bulls were going to win it, it was going to be out of the very skin of our teeth. We just got to 119 points, by the way. I think Vucevic made the last 3, but Dallas pretty much had this under wraps for a while in that fourth quarter. The difference between the Lakers and Dallas is that Dallas didn't give us stupid plays that allowed us to come back into the game. They didn't have bad inbound passes and bad turnovers that allowed us to come into it, whereas the Lakers kind of did that for us and we took advantage of it. Nevertheless, we can still learn a lot. This Dallas team, I talked about comparisons. The reason why I feel like the Bulls and the Dallas Mavericks are in a comparison state right now is that I guess the NBA's written both of us off. I mean, they've written the Dallas Mavericks off because of that Luka Doncic trade. And I'm not going to sit here and defend that trade. It's a stupid trade. The Dallas should have no reason doing a trade like that. And I think it's going to end up costing them in the end. But they basically made them out to be a horrible team. And they're not a horrible team. They've got great quality players. When they're all healthy, that is a team that can make the playoffs and do some damage. Kyrie, Clay, and AD, it's a fantastic, trio to have on your team. And you've got some really good quality centers in there as well that can make impacts. A good squad around them, good defensive squad around them. They could do some damage when they're all healthy. But the problem is, Clay hasn't been healthy for a long time. Obviously, Kyrie recently did a ACL, if I'm not mistaken, so that sucks to see. And AD just came back now, but AD has had a history of his health issues. They're going to find a way to get them more healthy at the right time, and they have to be able to be in the playoffs for that to happen. And for the Bulls, everybody written us off because of the decisions we made in the past. Our decisions to extend Levine and trade Levine, extend DeRozan, trade DeRozan, and then obviously with Vucevic as well. Just all the deals that we've done that just came back to bite us. They've written us off because we're just a team that is in the middle. And they definitely wrote us off there. So two teams that I think have very big comparisons. In the end, two teams that provided a heck of a game here. Now, what do I think went wrong for the Chicago Bulls? Well, it was definitely a clash of styles. The Dallas Mavericks were more dominant in the paint and in the mid-range areas. You got guys like AD that are pulling up from the mid-range, but they dominated the paint, whereas the Bulls won the three-point battle, which is what you come to expect. I mean, I know Dallas has some good three-point shooters. Klay Thompson is an example of that. But the Bulls have been winning the three-point battle for a while against most of the teams that we face, and this is no different. But obviously, Dallas destroyed us in the paint, destroyed us offensive rebounding-wise, and it definitely hurt us in that regard. But the key thing I want to take away, and the key thing we need to learn, is that we can't be playing catch-up every game. Yes, we won against the Lakers. We played catch-up in that game. We had a very close and competitive game against Dallas for most of it, but in the end, Dallas kind of pushed the lead a little bit, and the Bulls had to fight from a very unlikely position and made it close, made it an amazingly close game, and the never say die attitude is very strong in that regard. But you can't always fight a losing battle. You can't always fight from the bottom. Sometimes you need to be able to have the lead and manage the lead. And the last 2 games, we managed to beat the Lakers. We didn't manage to beat the Dallas Mavericks because we're fighting from a catch-up spot. I don't necessarily want to do that every game. But again, it's only 2 games. Heck, we were just on a 4-game winning streak. It's ended now. I can't expect the Bulls to go on an 8-game winning streak. We're just not that type of team. I respect the effort. I respect the hustle. I respect how players stepped up in other players' positions. and all those things. It's a beautiful team sport, team game that we're playing at the moment. But yeah, we shouldn't be always playing catch up every single game. I just mentioned that guys kind of stepped up when other players disappointed. I want to talk about that real quick. So obviously, if you guys are well aware, Josh Giddey didn't have the greatest game this time around. He came off of an amazing half-court buzzer beater, triple-double performance. In this game, he very much disappointed. I think he got pulled in the fourth quarter as well. He had 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Normally, that's not a bad scoreline whatsoever, but considering what you've seen from Josh Giddey over the past 2 months, yeah, I expect a little bit more from Josh Giddey than that stat line. But who stepped up? Well, Matas Buzelis, 28 points, 6 assists, and 9 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic, 25 points, 5 assists, and 9 rebounds. So we've got the youthful vibrance and competitiveness of Matas Buzelis stepping into fray here. And he's getting these games a little bit more frequently now. So if he could find a way to put that consistency into play, he's going to be a dangerous player for us in the future. But Nikola Vucevic as well stepped up in a big way. And you know what? The playoffs are going to be a tough environment for the Bulls. We like to run. We like to play really fast. We like to attack the paint, look and exploit disadvantages, using guys like Kobe White's gifted scoring to our advantage. That's all fine and good. But the playoffs sometimes can be a rigorous and very slow environment, and the play-in will be the same. So if we're going to make it out of the play-in and make it into the playoffs, you're going to need guys like Nikola Vucevic. You're going to need surprise performances from guys like Matas Buzelis as well. Guys you don't expect to show up every night for you. You're going to need those type of performances every now and then. Nikola Vucevic, in my opinion, is a great option to have as that veteran experience that has playoff experience and can also slow the tempo down when it needs to be slowed down. Maybe he can get a post touch every now and then when we need a scoring opportunity that isn't on the fast break. Vucevic is very important to this team still. He may not be our future. I would still say we should probably get a new center next season or the season after. But he's going to be very valuable for this play-in tournament and the playoffs if we get there. He's going to be very important for that. We need to take advantage of Nikola Vucevic while he is here. And those two guys stepped up in a big way today. You're not going to need Vucevic to drop 25 every night. I think we're beyond that at this point, and I think the way that we play, it doesn't fit Vucevic in that way. We don't need Matas Buzelis to drop 28 points and 6 assists every night. But when guys like Josh Giddey has bad games, or when Kobe White is not scoring as much as you'd like, or when the bench production isn't fully there, those type of performances are massive for the Bulls. And I take that as a positive even in a loss. Guys stepped up when others had bad games. You're allowed to have a bad game. Spoiler alert. Josh Giddey is allowed to have a bad game. We shouldn't be really diving into it too much. We'll see how he responds from this one. That is what I'm looking for more than anything. So that's what I really liked about this game. But again, playing catch up isn't the greatest thing. We shouldn't be doing every game. Points in the paint battle, we definitely lost in that regard. And we did win the three-point shooting battle. But there are a lot of key areas in which we lost this game tonight. Nonetheless, a 1-point loss in a fight again at home. I can't be mad at a Bulls team that fights like that at home, and when it feels like there's not a chance to win, they give you something to cheer about. I can't be mad about that, and I refuse to be mad about that. With that being said, I am going to give my player of the game to Matas Buzelis. He had 28 points. I don't know if I said 26 or 28, but he had 28 points, 6 assists and 9 rebounds. Kobe White had a great night, double-double, 25 and 11. Again, Vucevic with 25 and 9. Zach Collins had 13 off the bench. That was really nice. Patrick Williams didn't necessarily show up to the plate today. Julian Phillips was all right. Dalen Terry was good. So, again, ups and downs everywhere for the Bulls. But still a respectable performance that I could truly be happy about. We'll move on to that next one. We got OKC in the next game. I mean, I think that should be a tough one. I'm not sure if OKC are going to start resting guys now. I think they've got the first seed locked in. Maybe they will just continue to play their players to just get the biggest winning season they could possibly ask for. Maybe go for 60 or 70. I don't know how many wins they have. I think maybe they could go for 70. I don't know. Let's take a look while we're here. Why not? For the OKC Thunder. But maybe since they do have that first seed kind of locked and loaded, they might be willing to rest some of their guys. But look, whether they rest some of their guys or not is not necessarily the issue. If we lose to the OKC Thunder, I'm completely fine with that. What I want to see once again is to take it to them. Right now, they got 62 wins. They probably can get 70 if they do play all their guys. They just beat the Indiana Pacers in a pretty comfortable manner. If we're going to be able to take it to the OKC Thunder, who have been first in their conference for so long, has been clearly the dominant team in the West right now. Whether it happens in the playoffs or not remains to be seen. But in the regular season, they are the team to beat alongside of teams like Cleveland and the Celtics. You can take it to them. It only adds positive vibes. It only adds fuel to the fire that the Bulls are a team to watch in the future. People are taking notice now. Let's continue to make them take notice. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.